ops-focused people, and had someone that encouraged you to go ahead and submit something. He said, whatever you submit will be accepted. So I submitted, and didn't ask for a code, because there was these three actually responded right away. Almost with another individual as well from LSU. I couldn't make it. But, yeah, we waited. Yeah, probably about, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, your presentation's been accepted. It's like, oh, yeah, now we're going to do something. So, but it's been fun. It's been a good conversation between you guys. I don't know if you've attended anything that Corinne has presented yet.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah. To the same room, right? So, the online schedule was just updated this morning that has no notes, but we had created this quick sort of slide here that shows, basically explains who we are and what this is all about. So we'll start with Jonathan here. Jonathan's from the University of Colorado Law School. He's the IT director there. This is Corinne over here. And Tony Forsythe, who's the CEO of AppointLink. I'll confess my ignorance of what AppointLink was until we connected, and he's got actually a very good perspective on sort of the things that we go through at our law schools, IT, central IT, and all those sort of things. So this is completely interactive. If you have a question, a comment, I can probably hijack our conversation as well too. Just raise your hand and we'll go down that path. We'll start with Jonathan just to show you, and he can speak for himself too, of sort of his background and kind of how we're here today.
Hello, thank you for coming to the session. I'm John Sabrea from the University of Colorado Law School. I've been the IT director there for over 5 years now. Just was my 5-year anniversary a couple weeks ago. I cut my teeth in academic IT back in 1998, and I've worked both in central IT and also distributed IT. And I think there's a good balance in there. I think my passion is generally with distributed IT. But I come from beautiful Boulder, Colorado, and we've got about 540 students, relatively small IT team. We leverage a lot from central IT wherever we can. We've got about 3.5 FTE total, supporting around 100 faculty, and we've got adjuncts and staff and all of that usual stuff we all are very familiar with. So that's a little bit about me.
All right. Does that sound familiar to anybody else here? You guys have that sort of same kind of background? Great. Corinne.
Oh boy. So I'm Corinne St. I am the new director of Law School Technology Services. I have been in the position for 6 months. Prior to that, I was the assistant director of instructional design and technology. I was hired by Loyola Law School about 6 years ago to help them with their online programs or online classes, which we can talk more about later. Anyways, as you probably know, working in IT, your roles change, right? Sometimes your needs change, and so you have to adapt. We are part of the Loyola Marymount University system, and so very, very recently, we, over a 2-year period, basically went through a transition of moving our infrastructure services and several other services through main campus IT. And that in itself was quite a big transition. We were a small IT shop on our campus, used to being very agile, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And, you know, with any transition, there are challenges and there are wins, and sometimes you feel like there are losses. Overall, there were definitely lots of gains, but so many things to learn to adapt to. And so that's where my background and my focus is going to be coming from today. I am an instructional designer, and so for the gentleman presenting here with me, definitely more on the IT side of things, and I'm on that weird IT side of things. So hopefully have a great, interesting perspective on that before you
Apply.
There we go.
All right. So I'm Mark Beekhuizen. I'm the Director of Information Technology at the University of Utah Law School. We are part of the University of Utah, big Pac-12 university. It's kind of Pac-12 area here. You can see our enrollment's pretty small compared to, say, Corinne. I was actually very impressed when I pulled up. Man, they handle 1,000+ students, law students, and so we're pretty small. Even smaller than you guys. So my previous experience is all central IT, right? IT or network operations manager, and and then IT Services Director, if you will, for our health sciences system on our campus, which if you, for the University of Utah, that's like the 900-pound gorilla. Everything gets done because of health sciences. One, they got the money, but also they drive a lot of initiatives for change. It's usually a pretty good thing, too. But, so you can see, my perspective is very much utility and central services. And so I'll come up with some interesting things that changed my thinking as I went to an academic setting for the first time. And Tony.
I'm Tony Forsythe. I'm the CEO of AppointLink, and we've been kind of servicing the law school market for probably about 10 years now. A lot of different things that we've done. CGen is probably our most popular product. I think a lot of people know us because of that, but we also have a whole series of workflow products and things like that. I think our mission kind of boils down to that first thing there. Is really, we just want to, everything we do, we're trying to improve student and faculty performance with simple, effective kind of delivery of data. So we're really trying to trim out everything else that's not doing that and make sure we're just ready for that. So we're with about 50 different law schools, communications, learning management, workflows, et cetera. This change, subscription-based software, cloud computing, et cetera, has dramatically changed our business. It has allowed us to kind of do things we really couldn't do before. A lot centered around authentication and things like that. And we'll talk about that. It's a big change for our company and probably what has kept us alive and really, helped out with it. So, okay.
Very good. Some potential takeaways here. Again, it all depends on your perspective. Perhaps maybe gain a new appreciation or understanding for your law school team's IT efforts, their focus. Also, maybe understand how to adjust your law school IT team focus. Right? Maybe you're stuck. Maybe your IT team is stuck sort of in sort of this, maybe call it a protectionist sort of environment, and maybe we can give you some ideas or examples of how we kind of broke through some of those things. Conversely, maybe how to trust and maybe gain appreciation for the evil empire or more central IT through. I'm sure it's being live streamed and maybe somebody's watching that, but and, there's a little bit of friction there sometimes between those groups. So maybe, but also perhaps learn to appreciate some of the bureaucratic approaches that they seem to take. Right? We talk about that sometimes as well here. I can think about that. So I'll put this back up there just in case you need to call on somebody that regular names. So Corinne being our weird IT person, self-proclaimed. I suggest we start with a story that maybe you guys can relate to. Or maybe not. So I got to pick it to do the story. So 10 years ago, I've been after law school, our law school for 10 years. A lot of change in that 10 years. But when I came there, I came from Central IT, right? And so I don't know what my staff that I inherited thought of me, thought what I was going to do. But I know what my intentions were. I've always looked at Central as we had all the right ideas. We knew what, how to do things in a big way and how to succeed, right? And I come to law school, and I had an area there, interesting group. We had one guy who was really, truly the traditional IT guy. He handled the server, the network, email server, you name it. This place did not run without this guy. It was the typical guy where his office door was always closed. You never knew if he was in or out. And you would go knock on the door and say, wait, you're hearing shuffling of feet. Where's this guy here? Turns out the guy liked to work from about noon or 1 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Okay, well, it's been 8 hours, but it's kind of a weird sort of workflow, work schedule. But then he'd go home and he'd like to work on stuff at home. And as IT guys, running a server, doing other things, I see something wrong. I got to make a change. So midnight, 1 o'clock, a change needs to be applied somewhere, right? And so everybody else would come back to work the next day, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I got a group of developers as well too, right? So these developers, they're working on stuff, making things better. So that probably Tony's company is, right? Trying to make workflows better. Also, they're working on a development project that they worked on just the day before. And also, it's like, this doesn't work. What's going on? Let's call the IT guy. Let's find it. Well, I learned after the first month or so that his cell phone miraculously doesn't work at his house. He's got a cell phone, but I can't call it. So I just got to wait till like noon or 1 o'clock for him to show up so I can get my developers working again on this project they're trying to finish. Come in, and of course, the traditional hours there is door knocking, waiting to answer the door. He answers the door, it's like, hey, so, yeah, stuff's not working. Oh, it's probably your code. Hold it. Go back, no, we've been working on this for 4 hours this morning, it's not the code. Okay, let me check. All of a sudden, miraculously worked. So this changed, and now it's been unchanged, and now they can work again. They're going on their full, right? So it's like, and we went through this process for months. And in my first 2 months, also, I embarked on a inventory of sort of what does every department in the law school use for their workloads, applications, services, whatnot. What do they need from IT? We're also talking about what's important to various departments of the law school. And what I found was, they use these things, but because it's such a locked-down, sort of top-down managed system, there was really no creativity in what they do at all. They would just come in every day, turn on the computer, wait for the 20-minute boot cycle, and download of this and push it that, whatever, and then they can do the work, and then they, go home at night, and they start the same thing. So it was a very sort of draconian sort of approach to things. 2008, 2009, right? We all know we went through the economic downturn. All of us were taught to maybe think a little bit differently about how we do stuff. And we didn't lose any headcount, but we practically started looking for ways to save money on what we were spending money. So if we had a lack of server, that was another thing, right? Got a hold of the IT guy one afternoon. He took me to see the server room. Right? We've got everybody had a server room, right? Ours was basically 2 old coat closets, or it was a storage room put together, air conditioner on the wall, 3 racks full of stuff in there, which I had no idea what it did. And I remember one day we had a power outage. It was in the morning. So what? IT guy's not around. It's 10:30. He's not around. I go in there, and it's like this super complicated sequence of pushing buttons and turning this one on first before that one comes on before the whole thing comes on. Every time we had a power outage, minimum 4 hours to get the whole system back up. So if it happened in the afternoon, everybody just goes home because it's 4 hours, and the whole thing back up. So anyway, does that sound familiar to anybody here? Anybody live through that environment? Anybody have that environment right now? I hope not. But maybe so. Over the last 10 years, thanks to cloud services, thanks to companies like Tony's who provide sort of this third-party glue, we've been able to move into a very nimble sort of environment. We've got a lot of things to do. We need to do them quickly, and that old model just didn't work for us. So, again, I asked for anybody, anybody have that same experience? No, wow.
Also, never mind. I guess we're the only ones who need like a support group to, get stuff out. How many of you have seen Better Off Ted? Anyone watch that show back when it was out? Do you remember the boss and how she just walk into his office and be like, "We want to weaponize pumpkins." Like, you can do that. Whatever. Like, we want to make meat, whatever it is. Like, we can do that. We want to make Velcro out of film. Like, we can do that. Isn't that IT at law schools generally, right? Like, we are generally a small enough shop and honestly pretty unique. I thought we were unique, and we still are. We're pretty flowered. We are so unique that if someone walks into our office, we can do that. We can do that. But then we have all these systems that we've built in-house. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But when we were talking about, centralized IT and working with centralized IT, and I think I might be the most recent, change into working with central IT, it's scary. It's very scary. You feel like you're losing freedom to get your job done at the time. It feels at the time sometimes that the service is going down. Your users aren't happy, but then what can you do? There's all these different challenges, and so it could be bad from you find out that you get to a law school and your server is in a closet with no HP. It's like that's sad. Or it might be surprise you have this new online program coming up. Or it might be, guess what? You're not going to get your SSO set up in time. So good luck with orientation because you guys are on a different schedule than the campus. So many challenges. And as we were talking, we had our little meeting online, which new technology, didn't have to fly anywhere. I think one of the things that really brought us all together, we all were nodding, whether it's working, with vendors or working amongst ourselves, working with centralized, working with our folks. We still need to be careful. There's some pain there when we give up freedom, and that is something that we have to deal with. Communication. And if we're honest, we're not necessarily that great at it, especially in IT. That closed door. I don't know if you're there, but I really need something. But what if I don't say anything? Do I know how to say anything about it? Like, how does this all work together? And I think like I said, that was one of the things that we really honed in on was communication and how can we make it better, especially with now all these factors that we have to deal with. And I think you had an example of, oh my God, we had quite the session of like, oh yeah, me too. But working with your team and trying to make sure that like things were communicated properly so that, or was it, who said the slaloming a barge? Slaloming a frickin' barge. What's slaloming then? No.
That's what we have to come in on this that's for sure. And so I speak very much like an IT person, and Corinne speaks very much like an instructional designer who knows how to apply IT. Right? I used to have someone like Corinne on my team that would mentor me every day in how to be an IT director at a law school. It was invaluable. And I learned a lot. But obviously, I still talk like an IT person. Right? I guess sort of the turning point in my whole SAC story was after we got into sort of this, hey, so we don't have a lot of money, we're still going to do things, still got to grow at the law school, still want the developers to develop things, we got to do web things, do all this stuff. I had a brief meeting with our dean at the time and said, let's able to get to the board and draw a line. I said, let's call this our line, our utility line. Everything below this line is utility commodity services. We shouldn't be wasting our time. So I started writing down the list of things that we were doing that was already handled by our campus or some other solution. Right? So email was a big thing. Email has been going big time on our campus for all that. That's nothing we all figure out how to crack anymore. Our campus is still trying to figure out how to keep it on-prem. I don't know why. But that said, we put all that stuff down below there, so we shouldn't have to do this. This is all being done in a big way. There's economies of scale in that across this campus. I said, everything above should be what makes us a better law school. Things like video capture for assessment, maybe even lecture capture. Wish I would have never said that, but just all the different things that would make us a better law school. Not a better law school with a big IT staff, but just a better law school, more nimble. Right? That's the swallowing the barge thing is what it felt like. Everything. We look at our complain about our main campus not being able to move fast enough sometimes, right? Because our law schools usually are pretty nimble. We see something we want to do, we go find some help with it and get it done, right? Our main campus IT groups feel like that barge, right? They can't go that quick. But that's good though, because if they were turning as quick as we could turn, we'd all be falling off the side, right? All our IT systems break-ins would be all over the place. So I think we were going to talk about some of the traditional services that we've all sort of, let's say jettisoned, but we've all moved to the appropriate place, whether it be to our central or maybe our central has it worked on a cloud solution for that. So we're going to talk about maybe storage and backup.
Let's talk about Box.
Box.
Because we've heard that in almost every presentation today, right? Box cloud storage. How many of you have some sort of cloud storage as your main storage solution now, whether it's Box? Okay. Anyone use Dropbox? Like that stuff? Awesome. Interesting. Anyone use Google Drive? Okay. Out of curiosity, for the Google Drive users, is it students only, or do faculty and students and staff get to use? Everyone gets to use it? Okay. Okay. For the Dropbox users, were there concerns about like privacy and security and? Oh wow. Oh my God. That's right. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. More power to you. Interesting. I'm sorry, OneDrive users. I always forget about y'all. Who uses OneDrive? Okay. Interesting. Who has more than one, like more than two? It sounds like at least two things are on campus. That's more than two solutions. What?
Yeah, all four, just like that there.
Holy smokes. Who has no cloud? Like we're all still on. No? Okay, interesting.
All-prem?
Yeah.
Is still spinning disks at your law school or?
Wow. Do you get any complaints about, access? Okay. Okay, so you got to manage the VPN and all of that. Okay.
On servers or sort of appliance NASs or?
Okay. Awesome. So from our experience at Loyola, we moved, actually main campus moved to Box. We had traditional storage previously, and if anyone wanted to access things from home, they could either get VPN access, which was actually quite hard to get. It was regulated by a taskmaster, so good luck, getting access anyway. Or you could use Google Drive. And we had worked out a special contract, and so there was a little more, I was going to say security, but I think that feeling of security, and like, okay, I guess I'll put some of my stuff there if I really need to do it. But what most people would do, right, is flash drives. And then they'd lose track of said flash drive and or lose said flash drive, or they get left in my classrooms, and I'd be like, okay, let me plug this weird thing in. Oh, great, like, not okay. Have to turn it back in. So it was crazy. But then, when we merged with Central IT, we were given access to Box. It was mind-blowing, and we were all excited. And it was actually an easier transition for our campus because we had Google Drive. So the idea of cloud storage and the idea of syncing to the cloud was more familiar to our users than to main campus. Fun story. Box Sync? Great tool. Main campus had never had anything like that before, so guess what their users did? Synced entire network drives to their hard drive, crashed them, and so big problems. Our users, however, were like, oh, Box Sync, I know I'm just going to sync, the files that I need to save my storage space, and everyone went on with their lives, and it turned out like pretty good, to main campus. But here's one of the biggest reasons why moving to Box for us was very important. How many of you have been at targets of ransomware? New thing, right? New world, new thing.
How many of us know that we've been targets?
There you go.
Right? That's the thing, right? If you're doing all this stuff on-prem, right, you've got to think of all that security. One thing about moving to our law school, we've always had a very large, and moving our email onto our campus solutions, they have a whole multi-ring layer of everything in front of email. So there's a lot, we don't even know if we did.
Oh, man. So we have multiple times, apparently. I'm not sure what we're doing, but folks have targeted us, and unfortunately we have users that totally fell prey to the spear phishing attacks. And so there was one day, I remember it very clearly, I was in one of our clinics, we were setting up a scanner. I know, it doesn't matter what position you are, you're going to end up fixing someone's printer. So I was helping them set up a scanner, and I got a text on my phone from one of the directors over at main campus who said, we're shutting down the network. I'm like, wait, just like that? Cool, but wait, what? He's like, we have been attacked, we have to shut down the U drive, which was shared campus drive. It's spreading. We're not sure how it got in. We have to just shut things down, start spreading the word. Being part of instructional tech at the time, I could spread the word. We had multiple channels of communication, but that was a good test of how fast can we tell our users why they cannot do their work and what's the plan for the rest of the day. So interesting test. We ended up finding out, what had happened. It was a really, really interesting, phishing scam, spear phishing scam, but thankfully we had backups. So we were back up in 12 hours, I think it was. Like, basically, we only lost a day of drives that no one really used. It was like the dumping ground. So no one was, heartbroken about their mom's work. But what if that had been finance? What if that had been the DHC? What if, we all sat there and we were like, oh my word. Yeah, we have a plan, but oh my word, we never had to test it, so we had to actually do it. So with bots, back to bots, with things stored in the cloud, it reduces some of our risk. Right? We've been teaching, and thankfully, because we have that experience and everyone lives through it, transitioning to cloud storage, especially something like bots that goes up to is HIPAA purpose compliant. Moving to something like bots made sense to our users. And I think that is a challenge working in IT. It makes sense to us, right? We make choices about technology, and it makes absolute sense to us. But my end user doesn't understand why they can't get that VPN access. My end user doesn't understand why do I have 4 systems. I like this one, and I'm going to keep my flash drives. I'm going to accidentally drop them in the parking lot. Not cool. But now that they've had that experience that was terrifying at the time, 1, it brought everyone together, and 2, it was a great teachable moment, and also ended up making a transition to a service that could have been extra painful, relatively easy. But you know what it all boils back down to? Communication. Communication with all these crazy wooden pieces. And not going to lie, working with the main campus, sometimes that can be very challenging. I hope I'm not alone in that. Hi, main campus. But if you've had that experience as well, would you raise your hand? Just trying to get all those cogs working together. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm not alone. We can continue.
No, I think that's a good point, right? If I go back to our first service that we moved was email, right? And for law school, you guys probably know this as well too. Email is very personal, right? It's one of the mistakes maybe that we made was we went ahead and changed everybody's email address. Not changed. We added an alias. Their primary alias was their first name dot last name. Because when I came to law school, they were setting up my new email address as Beekhuizen M. I said, my name is not Beekhuizen M. My name is Mark Beekhuizen. I've always been Mark Beekhuizen on this campus. I'm not going to be Beekhuizen M. And I think I didn't notice so years later that our dean at the time also said the same thing. He's like, I am not last name first initial. I am this person with this last name. And so I guess we were the first 2 to break that mold. But when we moved our email, and this is kind of pursuant to what you're talking about with storage, I felt an incredible sense of relief because an email server is a hard thing to manage. If you have just one person managing that email server, and with attacks like this, we just didn't have the resources, nor could we even conceivably think about getting the resources to do that same kind of work. To have that kind of help to say, hey, we're being attacked. How would we even know we were being attacked? Until also maybe it's too late, right? So I'll agree with Corinne there that sometimes communication is lacking, but I think that's, as an IT leader, that's my role at a law school. My role is to have those conversations with all of those people on campus. Right? It's the value I bring as well too. Is I know who to call. Right?
Huh? How we communicate to our users when things like that happen? So we could use it. So for our situation, in that particular example that I gave, email was on. Thankfully, now were people actually checking their email? And I guess here's part 2. Did they even understand what we were saying? right? It's like, oh, great, there's a spear phishing attack. Your network drives have been shut down. You can't access them. Well, I was clicking on it, and it won't open. That's what I just said. And here's what, And so I think, we're lucky. We're very lucky. Our main campus has a communications team as part of IT. And not going to lie, initially, I was like, okay. That's weird. That's interesting. You make emails pretty. I'm cynical and mean. But we had certain situations come up where, honestly, they need to vet what goes out because it, yes, looks pretty, but end users actually will listen to it generally, right? And because otherwise we're talking gibberish. And isn't that interesting that legal education or law has its own language and IT has its own language, and we're asked to throw those two things together? It's like your role, and this is something that we all talk about, your role in IT ops is to be an advocate. You are a translator. Not only are you keeping that boat afloat and swallowing and working with other folks and all those fun metaphors, but you're advocating for the end user that has probably no idea what all is up. So, sorry, shout out to all y'all. Like, more power to you.
So how many of you all in your schools feel some tension with central IT? I mean, over time, originally, central IT wasn't really there, right? I mean, departments did this. Law schools and colleges brought up IT because they had to. That's why, we have local IT. But then over time, central kind of grew up, at least at a couple of universities that I've been at. And then they start seeing, hey, we've got economies of scale here. Why do these departments have their own people? Why are we spending on, an IT resource here? I'm doing it better. We're doing it centralized. How many of you feel that tension? How many of you worry about being taken over by central IT? I'm right there with you. But I think the thing is that we do provide value. Commoditized services like email, file system, network, that makes sense to go central. I mean, I think at least ours is mature enough now at this point. They've got that communications team. They have that ITIL training. They're running the board, but schools and colleges, especially law schools, we have unique needs. And we need to be that nimble speedboat that can bob and weave and take care of things. So new technologies come up. Presentation did earlier comes out. Instructional design in law schools, we are accountable with the ABA. We've got the LSAC ACES 2 tool. We've got a different relationship with our alums. Career development is huge for us. We've got to make sure that we get our students jobs. And all of that requires an IT infrastructure that knows law schools and understands what they're about and what their goals are, but can also help communicate that back to central IT. So we're the advocate. And we're there to try to bridge that relationship with central. And while worrying, are they trying to take us over? Do they want us? Do they want to take us over?
I might add in that they're not interested in investing in something that would only apply to
our 500 students,
a couple hundred law students when they have 15,000 people.
Yeah, 30,000.
How do you do that? And then, how do you decide when or what is next on that list of things to move to the cloud or not? So I don't know if you have, is there a methodology or is it just what's giving you the most trouble right now? I want that out of here. And is it specific functions or is it things like authentication? I'm sick of dealing with user password issues or user permission issues. Do I want to get out from under that?
So for us, it's the balance of what is is losing control. Does that balance out enough to get better service or whatever main campus is offering? For most commodity type services, the answer to that is yes. But in some cases, like in career development, is losing control? No, absolutely not. We need to be able to be agile. We need to be able to work around job boards as technology changes. Add that. So, I think that's a strong case, but does your CFO, does your campus provost understand the value that you all provide? I'm pretty sure your law schools do. You've got to make sure that they're communicating that back up.
How do you do that? What's next on your list? You talked about storage and email, and then where do you go?
It kind of becomes event driven, right? What's our pain point? Let's take a look at some of those unique things that we do in law school. So we have a big lecture capture effort. For good or for bad, we capture a lot of video. Our campus has sort of similar approaches, but it's sort of the equivalent on the video side at our campus is sort of our teaching and learning technologies group, which is way underfunded, way under-resourced. So they really, and they have an undergraduate, right? They're not in every classroom. We're obviously all in one building. We're in every classroom, and we capture everything. And so we have to feed an LMS, right? So those solutions kind of drove us to the campus LMS. Our campus LMS is Canvas, so instructor Canvas, right? But as you all know, at your law schools, a lot of times will favor Twin. Not saying it's not a good LMS, it's just not Canvas. So we look at our Canvas solution and say, okay, how can we leverage this? This is sort of a migration to the central service, if you would. All of our courses are pre-provisioned in there because it comes out of the campus information system, right? All the students are in there, and there's a lot of ways we can then, as we look at it from an IT ops position, stop doing a bunch of the duplicative work, say, in Twin. But then we end up sort of in two worlds, right? We're in Twin, and we're in Canvas. And it really is a case-by-case basis of saying, okay, what process are we going to eliminate that we've done forever that can actually now be satisfied, if you would, adequately satisfied in this new solution, right? That's I think, right on top of what you said here. That's exactly how it's really a case-by-case basis.
That's hard. I've seen that happen a lot, and a lot of people don't want to move. It's just the nature of change.
Right.
So I would suggest that one of the drivers should be how many people have to change what they do, right? And if it's a lot, you got to decide if you're willing to take on that.
Yeah, or have we just always done this process because?
Yeah.
We've done this because this is the way we've always done it. Perhaps it's also looking at it and saying, maybe it's time for you to work in that area as well.
And one of the things that causes a lot of fear with change, I mean, who likes change, right? Or we like change. I mean, I know I'm going to dye my hair blue next week now. But change can be exciting, but it can also be terrifying because of the unknown. And I think that's something that we struggle with as IT professionals is we have so many plates spinning. Like, is anyone willing to raise their hand and say that they know everything that is going on their network with all their users at all times and all business processes that occur on campus that you may or may not need to support? I'm going to put my hand right down. Honestly, I can't say that. I can't say that I know every single piece. I'm familiar with it, but I can't say that absolutely I can step in and, we're going to do this. And I think that's what change is so terrifying. Part of what we do in IT ops, especially if we're working with a main campus, is to help them understand those spinning plates, right? And surprisingly, IT, one thing we've learned is central IT does not always have the answer. Say, for example, with Tony and AppointLink, we use seating charts as who uses seating charts at their law school? Don't we all? I think we all do, right? It seems second nature. That's just a thing we do at law schools. We went to our main campus. We're like, do you guys have seating chart software? I mean, that seems like a pretty normal, simple thing that should exist. They're like, you guys use seating charts? You're in law school. Yeah, we're in law school. You have a funny conversation there. What? You don't use seating charts? So then we have the decision of, we could build this in-house. We have the people who could totally build this in-house. Do we have the time to build this in-house? Who's going to support you, right? The whole IT process and trying to figure out what we were going to do. And ultimately, it boiled down to, no, we can't do this. Not in-house, and we ended up using CJET. But then, Central Campus is part of signing the contract. So, how do we explain to them why a service they don't provide that we might be able to build in-house needs to be outsourced to a third-party vendor who they've never heard of because they don't deal with legal education? It's like, what's the point? What is CJET? And then, of course, the evaluation. Can we use this? Probably. Do you want to use it? I don't know, but we need this and we need this now. A lot of moving pieces. Lots of moving pieces. So, honestly, to answer your question, how do you make the decision? A lot of times it's reactive. And in an ideal world, I would love to not be reactive. I would love to be proactive. And I think we can with certain things. I think with central IT, it has helped us be more proactive because we've don't have to worry about, email. You don't have to worry about SSO and BIM and moving to BIM and all these fun, acronyms. But at the same time, the temptation is there to stop being self-aware. And I don't think we can lose that as law schools. We need to know what is going on, because only then can we be effective advocates with central IT or even with our own teams and with our own folks on our campuses.
It's interesting that you brought up seeing charts as an example, right? Because that, to Jonathan's points here, understanding the uniqueness of legal education, the reason we have seeing charts, right, is to support the Socratic method, right? It's like I got to know who I've called on, right? And
What's the Socratic method?
Right. So that's a unique way. That's something we have to advocate for, right? We have to be able to explain that. Why is this unique, right?
Absolutely. How many of you have clinics? Unique needs right there. Am I right? How clinics? How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. That's something that central IT won't.
What's that?
They don't understand practice. They don't yet. We're trying to operate as like a residency program in med school. Why? You're practicing attorneys, you have confidential data. Freak out meter goes way up, and we don't know what to do.
That's good. I'm still.
But it's trust. With central IT, it's communication. You've got to have that trust as well.
So what services do you still provide that you would rather off-site to your central IT or would you like to really get ready just so you can focus on those services that provide value to your responsibility experience?
So for us, for the most part, we've already outsourced and offloaded that to central IT. We're in that hybrid model, so we're a distributed unit. The main campus takes care of file services, email, network. So we're already pretty lean in terms of, I don't feel like we have any commoditizable services that can go to central IT.
I'm going to say very much the same thing. We're probably as lean as we can be right now. Obviously, we're not going to come in and do break fix at the desktop. That's not going to work.
So we tried that.
Wow.
And that was relatively painful. And again, that's where central IT doesn't understand the needs and desires of law faculty, law staff, and couldn't be nimble. Break fix is one thing, but then user support is very different. It's about the relationship, and we brought that back in-house.
Maybe I can give an example of something that has changed, that we're sort of on, not really on the fence about, because as IT, we've really been happy to get rid of it. Printing. Our campus has gone to a central printing solution, right? So the concepts are still the same. You still send off to a printer, you just need to a service, it's hosted there, and you go tap on any number of printers around the campus and release your job. We love it because we don't have to do anything. We don't have to install drivers. It's a universal driver. Everything's the same thing, and it's all taken care of out there somewhere. Where we feel really hammered, right, at law school, right? Paper is the currency of a lawyer, right? And we make that the currency of a law student sometimes as well, too. So when that printing service is down, that central printing service is down, right? I mean, all intents and purposes, the law school doesn't work. It's like, we can't print. So that's been a good thing to get rid of, and we've just only done that in the last year or so. But at the same time, we wish we could have some control. That's the big thing, is how much control can we give up, right? We used to have all student email on-prem. Workflow, this is back to sort of workflow-driven. This is what we've always done. We have student org groups that we used to manage in Outlook, Exchange groups, right? We've dropped all the different students that are in the student org into those email stream groups that they can send on behalf of their organization, right? And that's the way it's always been done. It's always been supported that way. All student email at our campus went off-prem, including our law students. So it all went to the Microsoft Cloud. All of a sudden, we, IT administrators that used to administer these security groups and support a workflow, that's just now blown out of the water, right? And so we not only have to manage sort of our internal stuff, how is this going to work here in just a couple months, right, as we come into the fall semester, But have we been holding on to this and never really approaching this as a need to do something different? Right? Maybe we should actually check with the students see if they actually even use this process anymore. Do they even understand it? If they're processing an account to send on behalf of, nature law or whatever. It kind of forces us to make some of those decisions as well.
Let me ask a follow-up question.
Yes.
To the extent you've been able to offsite some of these core services, have you been able to retain staff, redeploy staff to service these higher value ICs, or is the administration cut back on staff because they figured you got rid of central IT,
That's a great question. It's probably a good thing to sort of address as well.
how many staff do you have?
So I'm similar to John here, where I have 3 IT staff, but we've also been able to develop that AV multimedia staff, right? It's IT because everything has come, to the network, so to speak, and we have a very capable IT-focused person that also understands AV. Unique sort of, I hate to characterize it as artsy, but filming and getting something done right, there's more art than just science.
You don't want me doing
Yeah. Yeah. And so we've been able to really boost that. We've taken, retrained, refocused over here. We do find ourselves maybe a little over the top right now with our traditional IT staff, so it's been a little nutrition. But we've also started, here's how we sort of started leveraging our relationships with our campus IT. Our campus IT is growing like crazy. I think the University, since, again, I mentioned earlier, we have a med center. Our med center, in many ways, has collaborated with the Corps as well, too, for those utility services only, right? But we've started relationships where we're sort of doing professional development opportunities between the two. I think the future, at least for us, maybe for some of your campuses as well, too, is to give your traditional IT professional sort of career paths as well, too. Right? If you've got a really good network person on staff, but you're finding that the law school doesn't really need to have a network person. If you've got a network engineer, if they can start connecting with the campus and start doing a more collaborative thing, maybe we reach this point where it's a 50-50. Campus pays for 50% of their salary, we pay for 50% of their salary, yet they're deployable sort of maybe in our own geographic area. We have a traditional campus, right? Everything's in one place. You guys are a little bit different.
We are 20 miles away from each other, and in LA time that means like an hour and a half, possibly. So there's no way someone's coming over to our campus to break things unnecessarily. To answer your question about IT staff, there are 5 of us who would be categorized under law school technology, whether that's instructional technology, web development, or AV creative services. Main campus has 70 people, and some of those folks are assigned to our campus, but they definitely feel a little bit of the pressure of having 2 masters. Some of them were former law school staff. They still are, but because they report to a manager on main campus, then they feel that tug and aren't sure, like, well, you told me to do this, and this needs to happen. And so a lot of actually our challenge has been to help those individuals feel comfortable being able to speak up and speak up for their needs and speak up for the needs of the law school. That was part of the whole point of merging and having that blending of the staff together. But with any change, people are scared. Am I going to get fired if I'm going to do something wrong? And honestly, as a director, that is one of my biggest concerns. I do not want to have a staff member so terrified that we're going to have something really bad happen because they did not feel comfortable enough to speak out. And that is something that I have to work with my other directors with on main campus so that we can foster that kind of environment. And it starts with us. And it's hard to admit that sometimes because we definitely want to micromanage.
Right.
And
Kind of like Corinne, we're in a unique situation where our main campus is up in Moscow, Idaho, and I'm down in Boise, Quebec. So we're hundreds of miles apart. And
But in Idaho time, that's 15 minutes.
actually, we're in time zone.
oh my goodness, you win.
They're less than 15. It's like a negative.
Well, I just ran into a situation where I started at the school about 2 years ago when they got our own building. sending all of our equipment to another building in town. How do you guys deal with when central IT kind of marginalizes you or doesn't want to respond at the rate that you need to get stuff done? Right?
Yeah, we're a software vendor. And it's,
Moving into this building, one central IT board, they don't meet our expectations. We lost what people, we set the expectations for us. So it's important for the campus knows about those expectations for our students as well. So I have to meet with all the top directors of central IT and say, look, our students pay premium for graduate college, they should have expectations. We need to be able to deliver. So we're not supposed to move it going along. The numbers high the phone, 911, right? So I met with that community. And so we made an exception. So we in front of them this time. I just think being at the university for such a long time, coming through and they have things we need to do to take care of it, be very responsive and have a relationship, showing meetings, doing an IT risk assessment, fixing things. So I just think people are kind. There may be kids out there and they know who to call and part of the building and how to think about it. So it's definitely that important relationship.
That's to Corinne's point of communication, right? I mean, I think also what we'd all agree on is you're using many of the IT skills. You said IT risk assessment, right? Maybe under that ITIL umbrella of how do we manage IT as a service, right? You're using some of the same speak that your core IT right now, your campus IT group is, and that's what drives their day, right? We might look at that as being the bureaucratic stuff they do, but as Jonathan mentioned in our earlier conversation between us, they've got a huge investment, not just financially, but I mean, they've got a huge responsibility. They have to stop all that bad stuff that we just expect them to stop, right? So they're managing risk. They do that through their process. It might seem sluggish and hard for us to deal with it. Again, as IT professionals in law schools, that's our job to help manage these processes.
Well, I think too, you have to be following is different. I don't worry about my job is doing here because if she can't figure out how to plug something in, she will, go back to the interview. And there's no way she will not have that kind of staff in her life.
Right.
And so very fortunate not only you guys, I'm the one that was very fortunate in the relationship with them.
Right.
I'm good small school, much small private school, building up my house, I'm graduating students, so that's 400 law students, and various other students. But my boss and I meet monthly with the vice president of the network as well as the services. So we talk about what we're doing, we talk about what they're doing, looking at issues, bring it up in our monthly meetings. So they know what we're doing and know what we're expecting from things like that.
You also support in the classroom as well too. Anything going wrong in the classroom, you also support in the classroom. We do as well, right? That's odd on our campus. I've talked to other IT directors and other IT teams that take care of, say, like our biggest college on our campus is social and behavioral sciences, right? And they touch over 50% of our entire students. If you look it up, we have 33,000 students on campus. Over 50% of them, and they don't do anything in the classroom at all. Nothing at all in that. But is it really spoiling? Who said our students pay a premium?
Yeah.
Yes, our students pay a premium. So, I mean, our job, Corinne brought us back to this too. Our job is really service. We're advocates, but it's also service.
Well, your expectations with your vendors for sure, and honestly your end users. And one thing I'd add to that to answer your question is always assume good intent. I know, right? That's the reaction. That is absolutely the reaction. It is a relationship.
It's the relationship.
And and it's something we need to work on. But we, especially for me in the position that I'm in, I'm very small. I have 4 classrooms, and all of our stuff is pretty much video link and stuff. But I have to call into the help desk, the same one that the students call into. 24 hours is average that I'll get a response back. But some of those requests that I have to put into there are from my phone to my faculty. And now I have to go back and face my faculty and say, I'm working on it. Yeah. I look like,
You got options. I mean, is that the only option?
Right now.
right now it is.
IT is also going through it's not as much of a centralization process, but more of a decentralization. They're totally reorganizing everything.
It's new for them too. At least in our situation, that's one thing we always have to remember. It's new for them too. And they're realizing it's new for them as well.
From my perspective,
All that
they're
works
actually I think central IT is actually getting hit harder with web services because that's the bigger value for these big guys. Google's looking at that and saying, I can do all that for a lot less money. And they are more from it than anybody in this room who's connected to faculty and student time in any way. So that's just my take.
Question right back there.
One of the things that I've got to continually remind myself of is that as good a relationship as I have with central IT, we do have unique things, and don't forget that. So I was telling Eddie at lunch, came in to the building, somebody from the networking services was coming in, switching out all of our switches. They didn't tell me they were.
I was going to say, did you know?
No, it's great. I mean, it was good PR.
Yeah.
I want to thank somebody for doing that.
Yeah.
I also need to know because they didn't map one of the reports properly. It caused us a whole day of trying to figure out what had happened. So you got to give them a break because they're switching out switches in other buildings and they don't need them. But in my building, they do.
Hopefully they have,
As long as they don't have.
do they have some sort of process for sort of reviewing changes that you can plug into? Because that's the other thing we've discovered. You have to find those places where you can plug yourself into.
Right. So I am. I'm plugged into them.
Yep.
But this particular person, this particular change issue was more internal to network. And they didn't really have eyes into our process.
Right.
The person assigned to his boss, right? But his boss delegated, right? And so it's not the guy in the building's fault. It was, making changes, but his boss.
That's classic networking, right? Everything's behind the wall somewhere in the closet. And we forget the uniqueness. There's still unique uses of our networking.
I have one comment I'd like to make. I know we're running out of time, and we will hang out and answer questions. But one thing that I have learned, and I'm instructional design and nerd all combined, sometimes you have to do things face to face. So even with all the IT ops and our collaboration and how amazing technology has made the world today, sometimes you got to go to that campus and sit down and meet those guys so that they know you. And when things like that happen, you have some sort of relationship so that they don't forget you. And not going to lie, that can be a real challenge when you're 100 miles away, for sure.
I think it sort of ties everything together. We built that personal relationship, and it sort of came at a cost. Jonathan and I would work together on this, so I know I can call them. And you're probably eye-rolling when my name pops up, like, geez, can't you go through the help desk? So this summer, at the beginning of the summer, I sat down with 3 of them virtually, and I said, how do I submit? I know how to submit a ticket. How do I submit that ticket so that it gets handled in this right way? And it goes to Jonathan when it's appropriate. It goes to Mark when it's appropriate. And I don't have to BCC everybody or CC everybody. And how is that? And we just sort of came up with a syntax for that. And we've shared that out, and it's been really smooth. But there's building a personal relationship. I believe in the bureaucracy, and I really, really want it to work. But I know that there are these chunks where that's the black hole. I submit the ticket, and I call you tomorrow. And then I call you the